Welcome back to another video. My name is Abby, and today we are talking about living in the in versus acting as if. Which one of those should you be doing, and which one of those is going to be more effective to getting you towards a thing that you want in life? Now, before we start this video, I've included some information below. If you want to work with me one-on-one to help you unwind what it is that limiting belief is, or what kind of cycle you're in and how you can get out of it to live the life you love, hit that little link below. It's going to let you know how to set up a time, and I'll work with you one-on-one. And if you've been interested in helping to support this channel, I've recently started a Patreon, which is all the information's below. There's 3 different tiers. So however much interaction and involvement and engagement you want with me and a more exclusive community, go ahead and hit that, check it out, and see if it's right for you. Now, with that said, let's get back to the video. So living in the in versus acting as if. Which one of those should you be doing? Well, let's break it down. You know I love etymology. Why? Because it helps us understand what exactly is that word. What is the root? What is the energy in that word? Even if you're not aware of it, getting a little bit more information can help give you better understanding on what wave of energy are you riding. So let's start with acting as if. Acting, basically that the etymology of that is actor, active, action, right? So that seems like a good thing. However, the more I got into it, I discovered a little bit more. Basically, the etymology of this is something that you do. It's, in other words, to perform. So if we're thinking about acting as if, we are essentially putting on a performance. It's something that we do. Now, why is this important? Because we know that we do not get in life what we want. We don't even get in life the thing that we necessarily do. That's one part of it, don't get me wrong. Doing is important. However, we get who we are being. And according to Dr. Joe Dispenza, being, the state of being, is how you think and how you feel. Now, when we're thinking about doing, performing, I'm sure a lot of actors out there, or even if you've had a job that you really didn't want to be at, you are going through the motions, you are performing the tasks and activities and going through the action necessary. However, if you look at your thoughts and your feelings and who you are being on an energetic electromagnetic level, it's not going to necessarily be in alignment with what you are doing, right? So there's a huge shift here. Now let's look in contrast and compare that to living in the end. Now this comes from Neville Goddard, and how does this contrast and how is this different? Well, living in the end is very, 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 very simple. Now, the simplicity doesn't make it easy for you to implement. It just makes it simple to understand. And living in the end basically means you're going to think of that thing that you want. Maybe it's an amount of money, right? Maybe it's a certain amount of financial security. Maybe it's a specific relationship with someone. Maybe it's a dream job, a place you want to live in the world, right? There's something that you have in your heart, in your mind. You want it really bad. However, you're looking around and you're like, my current circumstances are not that, but I really want this thing, but they're not that. So you're having this basically conflict between what you want and what you're receiving, what you're getting. Now, living in the end basically would be, okay, I'm going to think about that version of me that has $100,000, $250,000 job, right? I make all this money. I have this stuff. I feel really good. Or I'm going to look at myself and I'm living and doing the stuff I like and I love. I'm contributing and I'm getting that financial aspect back to me. Or I'm in love with the person of my dreams, whatever it is, right? That in version of you, the thing that you're thinking of. Well, what you're going to do is you're going to switch it. You're going to think from that inversion and basically reverse engineer it back to you now. You're going to start thinking from that place. You're going to start being, keyword bing, being that you now. So the you that's happening right now that doesn't have it, isn't experiencing it, you're basically going to create a bridge. You're going to start being already right now as if that is being experienced in your outside world. Now look at that, very, very, very similar. Being as if and acting as if. You see how it's an internal game versus an external game, and that's really the biggest difference between these very similar things. They seem so subtle, but the energy behind them is incredibly different. Electromagnetically using living in the end is going to give you new thoughts and give you new feelings. That's going to send out the electrical magnetic impulse into the universe. And essentially what is that doing? That is basically the order form you are giving the universe. Even though you might be thinking of your dreams and acting if you're trying to perform as if you're this thing, inside of you, you're not asking, you're not speaking the language of the universe. You're participating in the circumstances now. The circumstances don't matter. What matters is who you are being. Because just like a mirror, if you're waiting for that mirror to respond, if you're waiting for the person in the mirror to reflect the millionaire, to reflect the dream relationship, to reflect the happiness, stare in the mirror right now, stare in the mirror tonight, this morning, whatever time it is that you're watching this, and wait for the mirror to reflect back the smile. Wait for the mirror to wave at you. You'll start automatically understanding that you have to be the wave. You have to be the smile. So when it originates in you, because that's who you are being, then what do you see? Oh, my reflection's coming back to me and just showing me who I'm being. Because you are manifesting always, you're always manifesting that who you believe yourself to be. What are your core beliefs about yourself? What are the core beliefs that you have about how the world works? Thinking from the version of you, that dream version of you exists right now in the quantum field. It is alive, just as it is alive in you as that desire. Turning it into the intention and starting thinking from that version, start being in alignment with that. That person's assumptions about their value in the world, think about that. If you had that amount of money, how would you value yourself? And what changes? What does it take for you to change and start seeing the value that you have right now, regardless of what happens outside? Are you going to wait for the mirror to smile at you? Because you're going to be waiting for the rest of your life. You have to be the origin, how you are being, thinking and feeling. Then that's going to produce the action. Then you can look and say, oh, look, act as if. But really, there are two other things that need to happen before you act as if. You need to be. And that being will then easily express itself in the outside world, in the external. So when you are acting as if, you're simply acting. It's not originating from inside of you. Therefore, your outside circumstances, there's a very low percentage chance. Sure, you might act and then you might start feeling the state of being. That's possible. However, when you live in the end, you start being that. You start feeling that. You start having that in your cells. You start visualizing. You change your neurological pathways to represent and prepare you to start experiencing that naturally in the world, as opposed to, oh my God, I can't believe this. This person wants to go out with me. Oh my God, I got this job. I got this amount of money. Someone's not going to come knock on your door and tell you, congratulations, we finally found you. Here's your dream job. Now, granted, I don't know everything, so potentially that might happen. However, the probability of that is quite low. And you, as a creator of your life, based on the thoughts you think and the things that you feel inside of you, you're attracting that to you. So it's possible. I'll leave that open. However, do you want to bank on that happening? Your thoughts and your feelings are you creating your world right now. They are based on what you assume to be true about your life and how the world works. You can call those assumptions, you can call those beliefs, whatever it is. When you start feeling and thinking from that inversion of you right now, not waiting to see what happens on the outside, but you being the origin, you being the one that causes those ripples to change, then you see it reflected. Then you see it manifested. Manifestation is simply revealing what the eye can't see. So it shows you what you think, how you value yourself, and what you expect from the world. As you change what it is that you expect and what it is that you believe, your outside circumstances will immediately have to change. So when you're thinking about acting as if versus living in the end, see how being is your key to creating the life that you love. Being that version, thinking and monitoring, being aware of what thoughts are you thinking on a daily basis, on a consistent basis. Are those thoughts in alignment from that inversion of you? As you start to be more aware and be a detective of your behavior, you will immediately start being able to shift and be in that state on a more consistent basis, and ultimately see the life that you love, that you want to be, and see that living out loud in your external circumstances. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, hit that like button. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you on the next one.